Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Tea and Tarot Tuesday. Okay, I just realized I left my tea up there, so I'm gonna let you guys get started coming in, and we're going to get into the tea of this energy, this 999 energy. So, got my sage. Welcome. I'll be right back. So don't go anywhere. Get your tea while I'm grabbing mine, okay? Okay. Okay. Here I am. I'm back. All right. Welcome on. Welcome on. Hey, April Sanders. Looks like you hopped on and saw I was gone, so maybe you'll come back. But welcome to our tea and tarot. I had to get my tea for a 999 portal. I am sipping on oolong right now, and I just got a call. So we got some incoming messages. Some spirit wants to speak tonight. We're gonna see what's going on because we got to know what's happening tonight. I need to know what's happening in this energy. It's been too long for oolong, and that's the tea I'm sipping on. But it's also been too long for an actual tea and tarot Tuesday. I don't know. I'm getting a double call. I don't know who this is. I don't have the number saved, but they're calling me back to back. So, but I'm gonna have to listen. Messages coming in back to back. That's where we're at right now. Messages coming in back to back. So what I'm gonna do tonight, if you are new to my channel, well, first of all, welcome. My name is Princess Leah. I'm an intuitive artist and healer, and I channel the highest frequencies of conscious love. My mission here on my channel, Princess Leah 888, is to heal the heart of the divine masculine, the sacred feminine, for the soul of mankind through conscious love. So I also channel between, you know, more messages coming in, more messages coming in. I also channel through music, so sometimes I might pick up a song lyric or a melody that might be resonant for you. But tonight, usually, what it's been a while for a proper tea and tarot Tuesday is welcome on, is when we pull the tarot for the divine feminine, the divine masculine, messages from spirit, some tea formations, maybe some oracles. So if you're here to join me, make sure you got your tea as well. If you're also new to my channel, I do handcraft fruit infused herbal tea from my Femrims Apothecary. So if you ever book a tea and tarot soul session with me, you get a 1 ounce loose leaf handcrafted tea. My information is in my description box if that's something you ever want to take a look at. Make sure you are subscribed to my little vibe tribe and hit that like button if you feel called. So, this oolong tea today, I have my broken handle of this mug that says "Love This Life," and I think it's quite fitting because whenever things break, I teach my son this. Whenever things break, it's actually a curse that's being broken. So what I feel with this 999 portal is that there is a curse that's being broken. Now this handle didn't break today, but I feel like because this mug saying love this life, I felt called to put my tea into tonight because I feel like the curse of loving the life that we have known it to be is breaking. And why do I call it a curse? It's a curse because we've been living in shadow aspects of ourselves. We've been living in outdated versions of ourselves. We've been living in false beliefs, false lies, false truths is what I'm hearing. We've been living in this world, this life that has been not aligned with our truth, with our full, authentic, core essence. And when I hear 999, I hear align, right? Align with the divine. So that's what we're getting into. I don't know about y'all, but I have been in a lot of weird energy as we're releasing. They consider, the big hubbub of everyone's talking about this 999 portal, right? Because the year of 2025 is the year of 9. And to have this cycle that only happens every 9 years is very big. 9 is the last step, right, of the end, to the end of a cycle. They consider it the completion step, the final step. Once you get to 10, it reduces back to 1 and starts over. So we're literally here ending the cycles, breaking the karmic curses and patterns of the life that we were taught to love, of playing small, of being told that we have to feel ashamed of who we are, of how we feel, of the desires that come through our kundalini, our sacral, our hearts. Welcome on, Andrew. Yes. Yes. I can't understand what you're saying. What do you want to map to the world? What do I want to map to the world? I'm not sure what that means, Andrew, but what do I want to share with the world? I just want to share that this is the time. I want to share that we are all here to live fully, freely, deeply in conscious love, in our authentic, unapologetic, pure essence. And when I say pure, I don't mean, oh, that means we are, we never make a mistake or we're perfect. What I mean by pure is we are raw, we are authentic, we are real. We allow our desires to be felt and then to be experienced. That is the feminine and the masculine energy that is within us all. That's what we're going to tune into for the Divine Feminine and Masculine Collective tonight under this reading. And we're going to get some messages from Spirit as well to see what it is that we are needing to release. I don't know what's going to come up. I don't know what messages Spirit's going to have tonight. I've been doing just tea and tarot energy check-ins on Tuesdays for a while. I've just been doing the all sign readings. But tonight, my schedule opened up to allow me to have this evening to be with you and for Spirit to speak through me. So as we clear our throat chakra to express our truth, may you go and get your tea that you're sipping on, and cheers. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Got a little Tony here. So a part of me wants to do a little bit of a sound bowl healing just to see if there's any intuitive channels that want to come through the heart space from Spirit. You can place your hand on your heart if you'd like to join me. Close your eyes and take a deep breath, and then we'll get into the rest of the cards. I don't know why, but I'm hearing two songs and it's hilarious. But I'm hearing Let Your Freak Out and Get Your Freak On. So that's hilarious. Not sure why that's coming up for this right now. Maybe we'll get into that a little more. But I'm hearing don't be afraid to let your freak out. Don't be afraid to express that part of your truth that you have been shunning and shaming. Got a little bit of a dizzy spell there, so I feel like that's an activation. this is the cycle, the curses that we're breaking of the loving the life, the false life of guilt, of being so ashamed of our desires, of feeling so guilty for our pleasures, for feeling the biggest frustrations that I was feeling over the last 24 hours have been around, and really the last 72 hours, over the last weekend even, is just feeling this frustration of perfectionism breaking. And that is the South Node in Virgo, letting parts of your past hold you back, letting this false idea that we have to show up in a certain way or that things have to be controlled in a certain way, to the point where we limit ourselves because we don't allow ourselves to try new things, to get things wrong, to scrape our knees, to let our hearts be felt and spoken and shared, out of the fear of vulnerability, of rejection, that we really don't even allow ourselves to be seen. We don't allow our deepest, I'm hearing our deep, dark desires be devoured because we were told, we were taught that that was wrong to feed into that raw, essential emotion. And I'm feeling like this is breaking. It's breaking. It's not to say don't be intentional. It's not to say be, selfish and greedy and let the ego identify with all these material things and lust and money and whatever. But it's about consciously choosing to give yourself permission to live this life, this human experience, freely and fully and unafraid and unapologetic, to be curious and adventurous, to laugh, to have fun. Like, oh, I was so frustrated last night. I was like, why am I taking life so freaking seriously? Why can't I just have fun? And I'm like, I just want to have fun, damn it. I want to be happy. And I'm like angry at it. Angry that I'm not happy. Why? Because I put so much emphasis around needing to control outcomes, situations, people, based on my own agenda and plans and future, that it's like, it's literally keeping me from being with the people that I love most. It's literally keeping me from being who I am, loving all of who I am, and not and allowing. It's preventing me to allow others to love all of who I am. So perhaps this is something that is also being channeled for the collective if you're feeling this way, because Spirit is compelling me to share it. "999, align with the divine." Let's see. As I lighten my grip, the vibrations continue, but they're not so forced. They're not so loud. They're not banging. They're not clinging. This is how. Allow yourself to be soft and gentle and still be heard. Allow yourself to be seen and felt and experienced without the fear of who will like you or judge or validate or leave or reject. This is the portal where we let those who want to be here come in if they align with your frequencies. Of your frequencies. That's hilarious, Spirit. Your frequencies. Got it. I love that pun. I love that pun. Match my frequency is what I'm hearing. Yes. And allowing those who don't want to be here to leave. To not chase those who don't want to stay. It's okay. You are worthy. And you're making space when you release the grip on the fantasy ideals of the outcomes you want. Honks for confirmation. You're making space. You're making room for the right people to find you, for the right energies, for the right resources, so that all that your heart desires can be embodied. That's your birthright. That's what you came here to do. Thank you, Spirit. I feel that. I love feeling the vibration and how cold the metal is. Because my hands get so cold, get so warm. Cool. That was beautiful. Thank you for tuning in with me on that one if you are here. And if you're tuning in at a later future date, I hope that this is resonating for you. So let's begin, shall we? I'm going to grab my chakra book that I can shuffle on so I don't accidentally poke the my mat. I just had a little bit of a brain freeze right there. So let's step into the Divine Feminine. Let's see what's going on with the Divine Feminine. Divine Feminine. We're just gonna, I don't know what Spirit has to say, or what are messages, energies that are going on for the Divine Feminine. We all carry Divine Feminine within our energy fields and masculine, but I am going to use she, her pronouns for the sake of ease and he, him pronouns for the Divine Masculine. So I hope that's all right. Okay, let's go ahead. In the heart of the Divine Feminine, straight down the middle, we have the Empress and the Moon. That's beautiful. Look at that. The Moon card has been coming out a lot, obviously, and look, they want to stay through with Judgment that just wanted to pop through, and the Five of Cups. Interesting. So that's what, look, it's spilled right out of the heart space. The Moon and the Five of Cups. The Moon and the Five of Cups with the Empress and Judgment straight in the middle, down the heart space. There's a lot of emotions coming up. We just had this full moon Pisces lunar eclipse, and that really talk about the ending of cycles. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. So this moon energy, the Five of Cups, is about grief, release. It's about processing losses. And I'm hearing grieving the old you, grieving the people who are walking out of your life, grieving the things that are crumbling away through your fingertips, right? And there's a lot of emotions, deep, dark emotions, deep, like soul, gut emotions, soul wisdom that's being released into your Akashic knowledge within your body. Just like how the moon rules over the ocean. The moon rules over the ocean. And that the ocean water are emotions. But she's pointing with her arrow at the feminine who is grieving over the 3 cups that have been spilled. But if you look closely, you can also see that behind her are these 2 cups still standing. So what is it that this divine feminine is grieving? What is it? They could be the 3 cups and can be your soul tribe, friends, sisters, but it can also be around gossip and people talking about you behind your back, right? But I'm feeling like this is about versions of you that just have to go. Versions of you that just are not serving your soul anymore. Versions of you, and sometimes we think that versions of us are parts of us that other people don't like, so we think, oh, well, I have to get rid of that. Everyone else is telling me that this is not the way. Like, everyone else is telling me that I have to, whether it's the community or your family or the church or, whatever religion. And so you think, okay, I have to be this way. I have to do it right. I have to get it right. I have to let these things go so that I can fit into these areas, these 3 of cups. But you find yourself still not quite resonating with their conversations anymore. And you're like, where do I belong? And you belong, divine feminine, everywhere and nowhere. Right? As my Angelou says, I belong to me. And these 2 of cups behind her, that is the symbol of partnership, of equal partnership, of learning, reciprocity, respect, of learning how to match, right? These 2 of cups behind you, divine feminine, are the cups, the partnership of the soulmate, whether it's a platonic, romantic, professional soulmate that can match your frequency. That's what you're looking for. Love that. That's really beautiful. With the Empress and Judgment at the bottom of the decks here, I love the way that this is coming through. Judgment is that huge transformation. Look at the snake, Angela Davis, in here on this Modern Goddess Tarot. The snake on her shirt with the eclipse right here. Can't make that up. Transformation, Kundalini rising. This year in the Chinese New Year, it is the year of the snake. Of shedding old skins, versions of ourselves that we thought that used to fit. We used to fit into those clothes, right? We used to fit into those borders, into those boxes, but we don't anymore. And we're transforming completely. Judgment. Who are we transforming into? The Empress. That's right, divine feminine. We are transforming into Beyonce herself. That's who is embodying the archetype of the Empress here. You are transforming into the highest goddess, Empress of receiving, attracting the sensual, the creative, the life maker, the life birther, right? You are creating all sorts of works of art. Right now, you are attracting in opportunities, you're attracting in lovers, you're attracting in beauty. And all of that work, whether it's actual pieces of art, whether it's passion purposes, projects, whether it's songs, dances, clothing, podcasts, pottery, whatever the case is, whether it's even just the works of your own heart, the works of healing through this death, Shakti underneath, dancing on death, or this is Kalimara, excuse me, dancing on death, recognizing that in order to transform into the Empress, into the highest divine feminine, you do have to let things die, and that's what you're grieving here. And that's okay. It can be really uncomfortable. It's okay that it's uncomfortable, divine feminine. The Page of Wands underneath that, I was seeing that in my mind's eye during the sound bowl chakra. Let this adventure, this new adventure, be curious, right? Be curious. You're going on a brand new adventure. Have fun. Explore. Let your imagination go wild of what you desire, your wildest desires, and just make a whole, adventure, imaginative. Where are we going? To grandma's house. Like, wherever you going, have fun going there. Have fun. That's what I keep hearing. Why? Because on your way to fun, when you have fun, you attract the right people, divine feminine, the right energies, the right resources. You attract your soul tribe. You attract your people, your sisters, your brothers, your lovers. You attract 10 of cups, your happily ever after. It's all based on the vibration that you are filling within yourself and feeling within yourself. And I love that we have so much rainbow right now with the Fool card underneath that. Welcome on. The Fool card. I love that you have the 10 of cups of. That is that completion into your happily ever after, into the what brings your heart, soul, mind, body so much pleasure and joy. And don't be afraid to take a leap into that pleasure. Don't be afraid to take a leap of faith. You see, she's jumping off this cliff into the arms of this rainbow, the rainbow that comes after every storm. God puts one in every cloud. So as we are allowing what we need to grieve from the deaths of relationships, the deaths of our old selves, the deaths of our old life, remember that you'll be leaping. Take that leap of faith into that rainbow from that cloud. Aww. Because everything that you need is right here. Really beautiful. I don't know where these cards ended up going, but we're going to, I guess, put them back right here because I want to let them just come out the way they wanted to come through. This is the message here for you, Divine Feminine. This is the message. Yeah, thank you. All right, let me see if I can make this into what I am seeing here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That adventure. Thank you. I just heard your hard work is going to pay off. It's okay. You don't have, but take the leap of faith. Release, release and surrender. Release and surrender, Divine Feminine, to the outcome. Trust, believe, and surrender. What is made for you, what is meant for you, will never, it will never cease to find you. Whatever is meant and made for you, Divine Feminine, your only task, your only purpose in this world, in this human experience, is to enjoy this human experience. It's not always going to be rainbows and sunshine, right? But to even embrace those depths of those deeper emotions. And also not be afraid of those emotions, and don't be afraid of those desires, and don't be afraid to take that leap, and don't be afraid to look foolish. Only fools fall in love, they say. All right, let's go ahead. I'm shuffling for the Divine Masculine now, so let's see what the Divine Masculine's energy is like right now on this beautiful day. 999, align with the divine. We have the Magician here at the bottom of the deck, really beautiful. Divine Masculine, you working on something. What you cooking in the kitchen? Let's see. I'm about to get really nosy. You are working. Let's go ahead and split your heart space because I want to know. Wow, you have the Queen of Pentacles, Virgo energy. So you are working on getting all your skills, your foundations, your tools. You're working on getting all those tools mastered so that you can stabilize, create, and manifest all this abundance and beauty into your life, to create all this magnificent beauty and abundance in your life. I know that's right, Divine Masculine. That's where your heart space is at. The Master Manifester, the Magician. Okay. Oh, I just flipped it half the deck upside down. So let's see. Some of them might be reversed. That's okay. Yeah, the Magician in reverse now coming through. Okay. The Knight of Swords in reverse. Okay. So I'm hearing, Divine Masculine, you might be feeling a little bit just like stuck. Okay. With the Ace of Pentacles and the Death card as well, mirroring the Divine Divine Feminine. And look, now the Five of Wands are upright. Okay, we're just gonna dive into this for a sec. And I'm pretty sure that's the Page of Cups in reverse underneath that. Yeah. Okay. So with all these coming out reverse like this, the way that I'm seeing it though is that the Magician and the Knight of Swords, it's almost like, again, there's this sense of just like this really tight grip, this like this control, like trying to force things to into fruition. And masculine energy is bringing the ideas that the feminine energy holds, those emotions, those sensualities, those conceptions that the feminine energy holds into fruition. That's why we all need that same balance within us. That's why we all need that perfect balance of masculine and feminine energy within us. But it feels like there's this force, this really, again, like trying to make a concoction, right? Trying to force like a project or a relationship or something that you really want. And Magician in reverse with the Knight of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, and the Death in reverse, the Five of Wands, it's at the bottom of the deck, it's like, it's almost like giving like a trying to manipulate it to your specific, like, if I say with the Knight of Swords, if I say this, then this person will do this. If I, just tweak it this way, then maybe it's kind of like being in the laboratory, right? And you're just playing around with all these different um, chemicals, right? You're playing with the different, um, you know, whatever. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's what's like you're understanding your magic. You're understanding your power. And you're trying to like figure out, okay, well, what happens if I put baking soda in a Coca-Cola bottle and shake it up? Like, right? What happens if I was just cooking today and I just started this like HelloFresh subscription. I'm trying it again. And I'm enjoying myself because it allows me to be able to try new recipes that I would never think to try, and it gives you the exact ingredients and and everything in the step by step of how to make it, and I'm just like, heck yeah. And it tastes so good, and I'm like, I would have never known how to do that. I would have never gone to the store to be like, let me go pick up some ingredients to make some shrimp po' boys, but I made some shrimp po' boys today and it was delicious. Like, you know? So I feel like that's kind of what's happening with you, Divine Masculine. That you're like, let me play around with these different, all these ingredients that I have, these spices in my cabinet, all these new, I'm just hearing like tools. What does this do? Like, what does that do? What is a screwdriver? Like all these different flavors. And it could be flavors of opportunities of income and jobs or friends or lovers or, you know, just projects. And you're like, ooh, how can I make that work? How can I make that work in my life? How can I? But with it in reverse, what I'm hearing, especially with the Death card and the Ace of Pentacles reverse as well, it's almost like an over force. There's this over forced attempt to like control the outcome exactly the way. And that's the thing, is like you might follow the recipes and you might want to try a different, like a replacement ingredient, alternative ingredient, and maybe the outcome might not be the same. Or, and I'm using a lot of like, I know, analogy or just like kind of metaphors, so take it if it's resonating for you, but this is the way spirit is coming through to try to understand it. But it's kind of also giving it a resistance to the process of allowing the magic to also like have its role. They always say like there's a third entity in creation, and that's divine. That's the magic of the gracious, omnipresent divine. That's what I call God. Because look, there is a path. There is a major opportunity. There is something of abundance and brilliance that is right in the hands of divine. A path, a rose. I'm seeing this a big old rose right here too, with a mountain back there. So those might be really symbolic, but like a rose garden or something like that. Something really, really potent, a big potential. This is a huge ace. Something divine, something stable, an opportunity. It's almost like if you go into an interview and you're just like trying so hard to like get this job that you're like overselling yourself, right? Or if you're trying to sell a car or whatever, and you can tell like the sale, if the salesperson's trying to sell you something, and you're like, dang, they really try to sell me on this, right? That's giving that vibe. If you're trying to, if you're dating and you're trying to like really let this person know that you're into them, and you're like over selling it, you don't have to do that much. Less is more, divine masculine. Mm. And I think that death card here is very interesting. I might pull more on these just to get a little bit more like clarification, but the death card in reverse, you see how Kalimara is dancing on death. Why? Kalimara is the goddess of ego death, is the goddess of dark feminine. I'm going to rip everything that is not your authentic truth away from you. And you are going to be stripped raw so that you can regrow from nothing. So you can know exactly who you are. And it's not in a way of destruction and in the sense that it's like bad. It's in the way to truly, and the feminine and masculine both have it out, it's in the way to literally like make you face yourself in the face. Death card is also associated with Scorpio, Pluto, which is the planet of transformation by facing your fears. This 999 portal, when you're aligning with divine, you also are going to be seeing the parts of you that are not actually you. And that's where the fears, the frustrations, that's what you're going to have to kill off. And you dance on it, not in a morbid way, but as a celebration of relieving yourself. Last week, there was a lot of the devil card that came out. Relieving yourself of these toxic addictions, obsessions that are not you. You don't have to put on a mask anymore, divine masculine. It's not serving you. Show up as your true self. It's like, I feel like I'm looking at divine masculine dead in the face, dead in the eye, to say, you are so beautiful and brilliant, exactly the way you are. You do not need to fight or prove yourself. The right people will find you. The right people will accept you. The right people will acknowledge you. And the inner conflict that you have, look, divine masculine, the right people, 3 of Cups, the right people with the right energies who are here to celebrate you. When you let yourself that is not you die, and you celebrate yourself for your resurrection, I'm hearing, for your own ego death, you are then going to come into the right energies with the right people to celebrate with you. I love this energy, divine masculine. Thank you, Spirit, for showing us that what has needed to die has needed to die, and it's all, and has needed to be released in the timely manner that it You had to go through what you went through. You had to be who you were for survival, right? This is a war zone. It was kill or be killed. It was survival of the fittest. You were in a war zone growing up. Maybe some for you, divine masculine, literally. Maybe some of it had with that five of wands that we just had. You were literally fighting for your own voice to be heard, to be accepted. You're battling people, haters, parents, abusive. I don't know why that's coming through. People in your life. You have been fighting. You have the Page of Swords underneath that. Since you were a wee lad, since you were a child, you've been fighting your whole life. Divine masculine, but you don't have to anymore. You don't have to force things and control things anymore. You don't have to oversell. You don't have to prove. You don't have to do that anymore. You can be you. You can show up truly, authentically, beautifully, rawly, innocently, courageously as you are, divine masculine. Yeah. Yeah, April Sanders say yeah. Yes, the craziness. Let the right people find you, divine masculine. Let the right people match your frequency. Okay? Love that. Beautiful message. Thank you. Beautiful message. Some of you are coming into recognizing you've been observing, watching, and just trying to learn how to hold space for your emotions, to hold space for your story, for your heart. And some of you have been watching maybe for a mother figure with the Queen of Cups underneath the Page of Swords here, or a mother of your child, or a mother of a child, and watching how they communicate with loving compassion in a way that maybe you've never really seen before, and you're learning, how do I do that? Like, how can I like take all this good, bad, and ugly, and how can I create from everything that I know? How can I unlearn? How can I recreate? That's what's happening right now. Your entire like energetic cellular DNA, divine masculine, is just like going through a huge major like recalibration. And same with you, divine feminine, with that, because you both have the death card. And feminine, you're grieving with that Five of Cups because you are recalibrating into the Empress. You're going through this major transformation with Judgment. The snake, year of the snake, the layers are shedding because you're recognizing who I was is not who I am anymore. I have to let that version of me die. I have to let that innocence, the part of the innocence, of the naive innocence, die. I have to allow myself to step into the Empress that I'm becoming, that I am. She holds the rose. Some of you are going through a rose initiation. My cousin and I have been talking about this rose initiation with like Mary Magdalene. And that's a whole nother conversation. But like, it is like this initiation of tapping into your divine feminine sensuality. No longer apologizing for the attractiveness, for the the sensual activations that you bring out of others. No longer apologizing for that sacred sexual healing power within you. Really beautiful. The sacred teachings of Mary Magdalene that were never taught in church, that were never taught in the Bible. They were never shared. They were not supposed to get out, for women and men to cherish and honor the sacred feminine, sensual, sexual pleasure, healing. Because there is healing in pleasure. There's healing in our sacral womb. There's healing in our bodies merging, our energies coming into union. There's healing in becoming one with another. There's healing. And that's actually something that we're not going to go into it too much, but Spirit's going to speak right now. Let's see what Spirit has to say. But these are teachings that I wouldn't be surprised if the Akashic Records card came out, that are coming online into a lot of sacred feminines right now. I know within me, I can feel it in my heart, hard right now, have been coming through. And that's where a lot of that frustration has been coming through with me too. That Lilith, like, no, we're gonna know the truth about Eden. We're gonna know the truth about, this beautiful experience of enlightenment. It's a whole new level of enlightenment. We're gonna learn today. That's what I'm hearing. The archetype of Lilith coming through with that about Black Moon coming out. Yes, this is Black Moon Lilith energy. We're gonna learn today. We're gonna embody all of those quiet, those unshadow, unseen, untamed frequencies, right? King of Pentacles in reverse. We're going to cherish and admire Ace of Swords. Look at that with the Sun card. And look, beautiful. 10 of Cups. Yes, it was going to say, right? 10 of Cups. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. To confirm for the feminines, divine feminines, 10 of Cups. Yes, thank you, Spirit. It is time. These did show up in reverse. I don't really feel like being told to have them in reverse, but I'm going to take note that they were. The Ace of Swords. Look at this. Awakening. Perspective. Our perspective is awakening with our truth. The Sun card. And the Three of Wands. The path is wide open for this deep awakening. That's going to lead us into what? Our tribe, our happily ever after. Exactly what it is that we came here to experience, which was the utmost full potential of pleasure, of blessings, of beauties, of the benefits of life, of abundance. That is our birthright. Someone once upon a time tried to tell us that we couldn't have it, that it wasn't for us, that we weren't deserving. Someone tried to tell us that there wasn't enough love, money, happiness to go around. Someone tried to tell us a long time ago that if you give your body to someone else, that now you don't have enough to give. That if they walk away from you, that means you're not worthy enough. Someone, somewhere, burned these witches at stakes for their sexual expressions, for their healing powers, and put a scarlet letter on them. Sorry, I don't mean to be on my soapbox, but Spirit speaking, so here we go. There is an awakening, a perspective that is shifting. Yes, April. Or thought it was theirs. It was theirs to possess. No, it's ours. This is mine. This is my sacred temple. This is my beautiful, powerful, sacred temple of healing, of offering, of blessing. Right? That's right. You said keep talking. Okay. There is an awakening of this perspective that's shifting. You see, the mirror, we're being shown a reflection of who we thought we had to be and who we are actually to be. We're also being shown, what I'm seeing with this is we're having this huge awakening in a reflection in another, right? As you share this experience, this human experience with another. They are a reflection of you as well. Sorry, I know it's blurry. They are also a reflection of you. You are a reflection of them. There is, and the other day, yesterday, my daily divine message, harmonic flight came out from the Beyond Lemuria, seeing the highest version of yourself in another, and vice versa. And that awakening, that connection, that that leads us to enlightenment. We heal so much more. I was talking to my mom about this earlier because it's just becoming such a huge aha moment for me. We actually heal in our connections, right? It sounds like so like duh, but no, we think a lot, especially a lot in the spiritual community, right? We think I've got to heal first. I got to heal to meet my partner. I got to heal to meet my twin flame. I got to heal, right? My purpose, the purpose of this divine counterpart is for me to heal. And then when I'm perfect enough and healed enough and whole enough, then we can be together. But I'm actually hearing that that's false, at least for me. You know, may not be for everyone. That's okay. But I'm starting to hear the parts, the stories, the agreements that I no longer believe anymore. I'm starting to not believe it anymore. The Sun card, truth, awakening to the truth. That, yes, there is important healing that needs to be had as we are being prepared for each counterpart, friend, family, lover, professional, coworker, whatever. But there's also, I'm going to get to that in a second, April, but there's also another level. It's like the next level. You get to this enlightenment, you get to this space of awakening. Ace of Swords, you get to this space of divine clarity where you start to realize, okay, I've learned all that I can. Mostly, I can still always learn. It doesn't mean I'm never going to go within and like learn and do more inner healing work and take some time to myself once you connect with another. But it's when every connection that you encounter is an opportunity to awaken to a new perspective of yourself, of your healing, right? That's the clarity we're coming into. We think it's just one person. We think it's one soulmate forever and ever and ever, that we put so much pressure. It's like that masculine energy. We're trying to force it, trying to put and control this outcome that you got to be like, you're my twin flame, so you have to be with me forever. You're my divine masculine, feminine counterpart. And I have to force and manipulate and do all these things for us to be together. I got to heal so hard. Got to do the work. That this journey no longer becomes an experience, but literally you're just like studying. Like I was telling my mom, I literally feel like I'm just like studying. Sometimes it feels like getting too caught up in the spiritual awakening of life, that I'm like, I'm constantly worried, like, did I just pass that test, spirit, right? Like we're studying for the SATs, and it's like we're just studying for the LSAT or the boards of life, of spiritual enlightenment. And it's like, you say you too, April, it's like you're constantly like, well, and then you're exchanging with with other people. You're exchanging with other spiritual woke people. And you're like, well, what did you do for this kind of situation? I'm not saying none of this is bad. I'm not saying it's wrong. But sometimes we get so caught up in like, this is what I'm doing. Am I doing it right? Did I get that answer wrong? Am I awoke enough? Am I enlightened enough? And then it's so serious that we lose the actual journey. And what is the actual meaning and purpose of this life? It's to enjoy it, to celebrate every single step, every single heartache, every single laughter, every single pleasure, every single desire, to celebrate it, to experience it. And that healing, that is healing. And that doing, that is healing with your tribe and your lovers. Yeah. I'm just kind of listening back, reading your comments, April. Yeah, it's truth, but these people not normal. You said, right, me too. Yes. You said, right, LOL, I need a spiritual buddy. Listen, I am here. I am your soul sister, spiritual buddy. I'm your guide over here on the side next to you, just like, yo, we both gonna fall down. We're both gonna smack our face. We're both gonna cry our hearts out. We're both gonna, try something new and be like, you know what, I wasn't ready for that road. I'm not really down for that road, but we're gonna try it. We're gonna try it all. We're gonna learn. I'm here. I'll share with you my experiences as best as I can. Sometimes I have a hard time sharing my personal experiences, but I still do. I've been told, Spirit's been telling me this year to get out of my comfort zone and be more vulnerable and share my experiences, even if I realized later that that experience wasn't actually like I lived that experience. It's like the magician. Okay, well, we did that. All right, that concoction didn't work, so let's try another one, Let's try another. Yeah, it does help. It does help. You be wanting to talk and teach as well? Well, you should, girlfriend. Get all you need is the camera and something to hold it up. And even if it's just you and me, or you and you, or me and me, it doesn't matter. Just let that throat chakra explore. Let that throat chakra awaken. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes, again, I think we get so caught up in like, well, I don't have 1 million followers. I don't have 1,000 views, whatever. So what? It's just you and me tonight. And then all the future people who will pop in for a few minutes, future people who come in and watch later. And sometimes it's not even for them. It's for the message that needs to be released out of you. Okay, this is giving me this 8 of Pentacles. Artists don't create for people, they create for themselves, right? A dancer doesn't move for the audience to clap. A dancer moves because that's literally how her body expresses the channeling of those emotions that are moving through her. A singer writes and sings because words are not expressing it enough. She has to emphasize with a sound. It's not for others. Our artistic, authentic expression is not for others. This experience, thank you, Spirit, is not for others to validate, to like, to appreciate even. Those are all additional things as results that can occur. But sometimes we get so caught up, and I do it myself. I can't tell you how many YouTube videos I tore down since I was 15 years old because I was like, oh my God, no one liked it. Or I look so weird and blah, blah, blah. But our craft is put in our heart. Our desires are put into our heart. The people we want to explore and experience and enjoy life with are put in our heart and on our path because That's for our experience. That's for our soul evolution. That's for our interconnected, coexistent, co creative experience, right? So, 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 so beautiful. I love this. So beautiful. Where are we at? So we're at an hour and 5 minutes. I'm kind of feeling like getting some moonology. And then maybe I'll get a Beyond Lemuria message as well. But I'm obsessed with this moonology deck I just got. And with this eclipse, with the eclipse that came through with judgment, with this eclipse energy, this full moon that we just had, it's so potent. It's so potent. It's so potent. And we clearing it out. I want to know what Mama Moon and Divine Feminine came out with the moon card. So I think that's a message to say. See what moonology has to say. So, Mama Moon, what messages do you have for us for this 999 portal? Thank you. Ooh, she gonna start juicy. A new romantic cycle begins. New moon in Libra. So we would say that that's actually, we would think that it's coming up. Typically, the new moon in Libra comes up after the new moon in Virgo, and we already had our new moon in Virgo. However, we have a moon cycle that is resetting, where we actually have a blue moon, which means we have two new moons in the same sign in Virgo. So we had a new moon in Virgo at the first degree of Virgo in like August 22nd or something like that. And then we have the next new moon at the final 29th degree, 28th, 29th degree, something like that, in Virgo, like the last day of Virgo season. That's really, really, really huge. Why? Because we're resetting a cycle as we're resetting all these motherfucking cycles. And it's like this full circle. What have we learned from the very beginning of Virgo season? And mind you, the whole collective South Node is in Virgo. That is your karma. That's your past. What are we clearing? What have we been learning since August 22nd-ish? With the eclipse wiping everything out, clean slate, death, Kalimari dancing all over it, grieving, clearing, taking those new steps, those leaps of faith, divine clearing, divine clarity, protection, opportunities, abundance, transformation. Even if you need to go back to like old journals and be like, damn, where was I back in August 22nd, back in the day, So this has nothing to do with the Virgo, but the next new moon in Libra now is actually going to be at the end. All the new moons are now, instead of being at the beginning of the seasons, like the new like zodiac seasons, they're going to be at the end. So we're going to be looking in the new moons of what is it that we have learned from all of this, from the full moon clearings, that we are now able to fully release and move into the new, like a new chapter for this new moon. Is that, So, new moon in Libra is going to be like October, mid-October. So the reason I'm bringing that up, because a new romantic cycle begins then, and someone might want to know if that might be a time stamp for someone. I don't know. Just beware. But we are seeing a lot of like companionship, soul tribe, happily ever after, with the Ten of Cups coming out twice. And the Three of Cups. So what else? Ooh, 999, align with the divine. 999, surrender to the divine. That is a beautiful message with this beautiful full moon. That Pisces was a doozy. All the feels came out, all the things that had to be released, all the things that we're grieving through, the emotions, the Akashic wisdoms that are coming up now to the surface, right? Surrender, surrender. That has been my mantra for the last few weeks, really several days. I trust, I believe, I surrender. I've been realizing that I'm really letting go of trust, fears, of vulnerability, fears, of allowing myself and my heart to be felt, seen, heard by others, for fear of rejection, fear of abandonment, right? All those things that are coming up to surface so it can be shed and purged and released. Not because you aren't healed, but because you are healing and you're releasing. Really beautiful. Surrender. Surrender. I'm hearing Janae Aiko. Oh, girl. The balsamic moon. I can't make this up. 111 on the clock, 47, reducing to another 11. Time for healing. 111, Three of Wands. It is time. The path is wide open for you to heal and step into that portal of enlightenment, of awakening, of your truth. And look, the end of a tough cycle approaches. Thank you, Spirit. I will receive. We all will. The full moon in Capricorn. The full moon in Capricorn. So really, I mean, if you want to look at time frames, if that's something that you feel compelled to just pay attention to, new moon in Libra, mid-October, the full moon that we just had. Thank you. And balsamic moon, not a lot of people pay attention, but it's like little sliver. So we have, that means the next full moon that we'll have will be in Aries before the new moon in Libra. And that's on October 7th, I believe. So surrender it all. Look, surrender. A time for healing. A new romantic cycle begins. It's a time for healing. Like we said, sometimes our lovers, our friends, our relationships are the best teachers and healers because they activate, they reflect where we have to heal, and it allows us to then learn how to coexist, to merge, to be interdependent. Surrender to the violet flame. I love this. I love this. I'm hearing my song, Violet Flame. I am aligning with my highest timeline. I am allowing conscious love to align fully with my soul. I expect the best. I accept the rest. I live out loud, I laugh out loud, I love out loud, fully, freely, deeply, unapologetically, and unafraid. I am the violet flame. Yes. Thank you, Amen Ashe. That's exactly where we are right now today. And this one flew out. The infinite. I love it. The infinite. This card is about all of those many deaths and rebirths. Every time, the deaths and rebirths, the moon goes through its shadow phases, the moon goes through its deaths and rebirths, as you could, we could say, as it goes from dark to its brightest. You are moving through you have been moving so many deaths, rebirths. Allow yourself to grieve them. It's okay. But this is the time for healing right now. You're coming into your 10 of Cups, beloved. You're coming in. Surrender to the divine love that is within you. Surrender to the new romantic cycles that are beginning. Surrender to the end of these tough cycles that are approaching. Surrender to those feelings. Surrender. Surrender to the silence. Surrender to the stillness. Surrender to the madness and the chaos and the confusion. Surrender to the uncertainty and the vulnerability. Surrender to the fears. Surrender to the noises and the background voices. Surrender to the distractions. Surrender to the hunger. Surrender to the pain. Surrender to the darkness. Surrender to the flame that sparks within you, the flame that guides you every step of the way. Surrender to the love that is within you, that you see in your beloved. Surrender to the unknown. Mr. Grandma Tiny Popsicle just had to show up. I don't know if he was on camera or not, because that was such a beautiful emotional channel. Thank you, Spirit. I feel like this is my time to bid you an adieu. Ooh, Spirit said, don't forget the T formation, and it's not a T in Tarot Tuesday without it. So our T formation, one final. Give me a good one. Give me a good one. Listen, surrender to the divine on this 999 because we are activating our purpose. And our purpose is to heal. Our purpose is to enjoy this life to its fullest. Our purpose is to maintain and sustain groundedness and love, conscious love, in the midst of the fire-burning chaos around us, to not be moved. Okay? I love you. I really hope that this video spoke to your soul, and I trust that it will. Give me Tony. I trust that it will meet whoever needs to find this video. It will find you. Whether it's now, tomorrow, in 5 years, I don't know. And if it does, I love you as well. And the light within me honors, values, and appreciates the light within you. Hit that like button. Subscribe to my little tiny vibe tribe as we are healing the heart of the divine masculine, the sacred feminine for the soul of mankind through conscious love. And hit me up if you want to chat one-on-one. But until next time, peace and love. Namaste. Bye.